Hi all, welcome to Ansible Meetup. My name is Ashutosh Bhakre. I'm a trainer and consultant. Uh, we have Abhishek Vaidya, Abhijit Mohanan, and Pratik Sarda. Basically, these three guys help me to get this executed in a smooth manner. So yes, let's talk about our router automation stuff. Before we proceed, let's try to see what sort of resources I'm using here. So I have a Cisco router series 800, 1800 here. Yeah, I know it's pretty old, but that is what I have as an inventory with me. So thought of taking the advantage of the same and doing the automation on this router. I have a converter, USB to COM port converter. Of course, our router communication by default happens on a COM port. So I used a USB to COM port converter here. I have a Fedora machine which is running Ansible 2.7. Then router is basically connected to another laptop. So I'm using a Windows laptop here just to get a PuTTY access. So I have installed drivers of those USB converters, and my laptop, Windows laptop, the one which is acting as a standby, is connected to a router via COM port. So the most important part is this only, where we will be configuring router to take the SSH and deal with our Ansible playbook. Uh, Before that, we have to do some changes in the router that obviously we are going to discuss. My router is connected to Ethernet port, fast Ethernet 0/0 via patch cable, so which is nothing but my laptop connected to a laptop. That is a controller now onwards, right? So these are some high-level steps which we use to configure a router. Uh, of course, we have to verify whether router is connected to a right port or whether it is detected by my Windows or Linux machine, whatever, so that we can get into the router configuration stuff and do the changes needed. So, of course, for that, as I said, my router is connected to a serial port. I will be taking a PuTTY session of my router. The PuTTY session will not be a standard SSH session. So there is an option in PuTTY where you can take a serial uh, session also. So that's what we are going to do here. So we'll verify the details of IP addresses. What is the Ethernet IP address of our uh, fast Ethernet 0/0. Now, one challenging part which we face is this user and privilege. So router has two kinds of user mode, user mode 1 and user mode 15. So 15 is like our super user, like a root user, uh, where we will be creating a user and assigning the privilege called 15 here. So this is one of the important option, or else you will not able to do the changes from the playbook. That's what we are doing here. Then, of course, setting up the host name may be a optional stuff. Just for our confirmation purpose, you can set a host name and you can check whether it is getting reflecting or not. So, of course, we can do using a playbook also, right? Then, in continuation with that, my router does not allow by default SSH stuff. So I have to generate a RSA key. I will be generating a RSA key on a router part. I hope everyone knows that even in normal Linux machine also, we have to do SSH keygen, right? That's what we are going to do here. Then of course, by default router is mean to get a telnet where you can basically connect to a router via telnet port. But in this case, we don't need a telnet to be there. We need a SSH. So we need to change that router setting so that it will take SSH. We will verify the SSH, and of course, when you get into the router, there is a mode called configure mode, so which is currently a running configuration. So I need to make that persistent. So I need to copy my running configuration to a router configuration. So even if router get restart or even for further persistent stuff, we can copy the running configuration, right? So we have to copy the running config, right? So these are the few basic stuff which we should do as a prerequisite part to get the router access via SSH, right? So it's not about a serial port. Of course, we cannot do a automation on the serial port. That's the catch here. And one of the challenging part when we face is this only, like how we can enable the router to deal with SSH and all that. I know it's too basic, but yep, sometimes it may take a lot time to get this done, right? So that's what we are trying to do now as well. So these are the things, these are the couple of things we have to take care of as a prerequisite part before getting into the actual automation stuff of a router. So I will be doing a quick demo. So I guess, yes, it's a demo time. I know I have few slides only because considering the topic, considering this is one of the first discussion which we are doing at the router level. So I'm going to do the configuration which I discuss here first, the same thing step by step. Once this is done, we will try to take a SSH of our router, and then of course we will do a Ansible stuff there, right? So let's get into the scenario. Let's try to deal with a router. So let's try to connect with the communication port first. So I'm stopping my screen sharing now just for a minute. So I will share my entire screen now. Let me confirm if my screen is visible. Yeah, it's visible. So basically, let's try to check whether my router is connected to a proper port or not. Yep, here it's connected. You can see that USB to serial COM port. So it is detected as a COM5. So this is important, of course. So on which communication port my putty should we are trying to achieve. That's what we are trying to do here. So let's try to take a putty now. So I have a putty tool also installed here. Then I can simply, of course, by default, if you see, this is SSH stuff, which we don't need. We need a serial stuff. And the port which we need is COM5, right? Just opening a COM port. Let's see. Yep. So this is how my router terminal gets, serial terminal gets access. I'm just changing some default behavior, appearance of our putty session just for, so that, yeah. So I have a user already. My user, I believe, one. Yeah. So I logged in a router. So this is the standard user which may have a default configured already in your router. Of course, there can be a discussion where we can say that, or we can see how to basically uh, configure these users and all that, right? So you can reset a router and you can do that, but that completely goes to a router configuration. That's the reason we are not covering that here in this video. But yes, this is how you get the serial access. Now let's configure the things what we discussed in the previous slides here. So if you remember, we were talking about taking a COM port, verifying the COM port, which we did. We took a SSH, we took a serial access of a putty, right, using a putty session. Then now let's verify whether my router has some interface which is already configured or not, because there may be a scenario where my router is already having some configuration, right? So let's do that. I guess show interface will help me. Let's see. So in show interfaces. So if you see, I have fast Ethernet 0/0. It's saying yes, it's up, right? It's a line protocol is also up. MTU is 1500 bytes, all those things. Let's try to see. Oh yeah, great. So we have one more Ethernet port here called Fast Ethernet 0/1 is also running with some IP address 192.168.4.1, and mine, the one which is 0.0 is 192.168.3.1. So I believe my laptop, the one which is controller, is already connected to this router. So let's verify that from here. My laptop controller IP address is 3.2. Yeah, so you can see that it is success rate is 100%, right? So which means my laptop is also able to communicate uh, from router, of course, which means my router and laptop is in a same network here, right? That's what we did. Then next step is, of course, adding a user with privilege 15. So let's try to add a user quickly. So there are some steps to do that. Oops, sorry. I was thinking like it's a Linux terminal. That's the reason I was doing that. Not no issue at all. So let's try to create a user. So a couple of ways to create a user. I'm using a simple way to do that. So you can basically enable the stuff, configure, of course, the terminal command. So which takes you to a config station where you can do the configuration. So I believe this Cisco has a command called username. I'm adding a user called my user 4 here, which has a privilege. Of course, as discussed, we have to create a user with privilege 15 and the password. Uh, yep, I know this is not a good scenario, but of course, I have to type a password. This is only for our learning purpose, so I don't mind if my password get visible to everyone. That's completely fine. So we created a user here. Okay, let's try to set a host name also. Not needed, but I think we can do that as a part of configuration. So I will say host name my router 2. I'm just changing it from my router 1 to 2. You can see immediately it got changed. So we need a hostname setup now. Now, of course, we need to generate a RSA key. So let's do that. So for that, I guess router uses crypto. Yeah, crypto command. Crypto key generate RSA, right? So where we are basically, it is asking you to create a how many bits key you want to create. I'm providing 1024 bits. That is creating now. Then of course we need to basically do enable this. We generated a RSA. Now let's try to uh, allow SSH access to a router. There is a typo, guys. It's my mistake. It should be allow. It's not all. I'm sorry for that. I missed that few words here. So how we can do that? So we can do that using a transport command. I need to come out from a configuration there. Transport. Okay, I guess I should be in a configure mode. For that, I need to get into line configuration, line mode. My mistake, guys. So I'm getting into a console of it, and then now it will support a transport. My mistake. Input. What should sort of input it should support? SSH, right? So then I can verify whether it supports SSH or not, right? By doing a simple command called sh IP SSH. Sorry, I need to come out from this. You can see that SSH is enabled on a version 2. It's up and running. So this is how we basically do the prerequisite stuff. Now the last thing is copy running configuration permanently. So there is a command again to do that. Copy running config to a startup config. Have a look. We'll ask for which a file it should save this destination file. Cool. Here we go. So in this case, in this way we are able to configure a router in a very basic manner, right? So that's sort of prerequisite kind of stuff which we are doing here or which we are using here, right? So now I guess it's time to go and take a SSH on a controller machine. So I have a controller machine which I will be using for doing a automation stuff, right? So I'm stopping my screen sharing again, and I'm sharing a terminal of my controller machine. So I will share only a terminal just to avoid the confusion. So, yep. Let me confirm if my terminal is visible or not. Yeah, looks like it's visible. So I will first try to ping, of course, 192.168. I believe it's 3.1. I'm able to ping that. Now let's try to take SSH. My user 4, guys, right? 192.168, 3.1. Yes, it is showing something called unable to negotiate because the exchange method is different here. The exchange method is this DeFi Hellman group SHA-1. So I have to use this option together for changing the algorithm. I did so many things here on this machine. So of course it had some issue with a known host. So I guess I can remove those, either remove this entire file, right? Or I can basically remove this line also. Okay. So, asking for password. I hope everyone knows my password. This is how we got a router access. So this confirms that my controller is capable enough. My controller is able to deal with my router, right? So now let's get into, I guess I have to try SSH from here also. I will get the same error because I was logged in with another user. So let's go to a router. So I have a directory already created. Just to save the time, I did that. So I have a ansible.cfg stuff where I'm saying defaults configuration, and my inventory is located to /inventory stuff. This is where my inventory details has been maintained. So these are my inventory details, the router name. So that's, I guess I should change this one just to avoid the confusion so that you will not consider that there should be a same router name what we gave there in a router, right? It's not like that. It's a group, Ansible group name. So I'm using IP address here, and then I'm setting some variables. So Ansible underscore network OS. That's the iOS OS on my router. That's the reason I'm setting up this variable, the password, and of course the connection, right? How the Ansible connection work. So that's all I believe. Did I? No, not something. I was just checking if I miss anything, but no, as of now, it's working fine. So can I verify? How to verify, guys? Of course, you can basically do a ping now. I can do Ansible uh, all -m ping. Let's check whether I will get a ping or not. So I'm able to get a pong here very nicely, very clearly, right? It doesn't take that much time also, right? So that means my inventory file is configured properly and most of the things are running accordingly, right? So cool. I guess we are good to go with the automation stuff. For that, I had created something called MOTD file already in terms of dealing with the Ansible banner stuff. So let's try to do this quickly, and let's try to deal with the iOS banner module, right? Give me a minute. I will be logging off maybe. Yeah, sorry, no worries. So MOTD is basically a YAML file, uh, which is basically nothing but a name we have given here. I need to gather the facts, which I said yes here. Then remote user, I guess I need to change the remote user here, called my user 4. Become true, of course, you need to use a root access, a privilege access. That's the reason we gave become true here. Then host is all, right? So I may give the things called the host name, maybe a group name also here. That's completely fine. But as a standard scenario, I'm using something called host all here. Then I'm using a name of my task. This is the task, MOTD. So I'm basically trying to change a login banner. Don't get confused. I guess I should change here. I'm trying to change a login banner. So that's the reason I'm giving a task name called changing the login banner stuff, right? So let's do that. Then I'm using a module called iOS underscore banner. iOS underscore banner here. So banner, which banner I'm trying to change? That's the login banner. Then what sort of text I want it to get displayed. So if I take SSH, let me verify. Okay, so you can see that this router is of series 18 1841 stuff, right? So if I do, I need this the login banner to be set up. So that's what how to do that. Okay, so I had used something called iOS banner as a module here. So you can see that this will configure both login and MOTD banner. So this module is used for both purpose. So we are basically using it for login stuff, right? I'm just jumping to an example quickly, so you can see that how you can change the login banner. A nice example is given. So where it is using a keyword called banner, what sort of banner you want to change again, login or MOTD, right? Then text, and of course the state, whether you want it to be a persistent or present or upset, right? So let's do that. Yeah, I guess this is okay. Hello all and welcome to Ansible Meetup will be getting displayed. Let's try to do that. MOTD YAML hyphen syntax check, as just as a precautionary stuff. We can check a syntax and give the verbose also and see that. That's the warning. That's okay. We can see that it's gathering the fact, changing the login banner. It's saying change. We can see that banner login. Hello all. So let's hope for the best. Let's try to take SSH again. Can you see? It got changed here, right? No need to do, but I guess I can quickly go and say absent here. So let's see whether I can disable using this way. So it's saying yes, no banner login. It's changed. You can see that the change is equal to 1. So if I try to take SSH again, I will not able to see any login banner. Cool. That's how it works, right? I guess I can run it again. is present. Let's execute, right? Yeah, it's changed now. Try to take SSH again. Yeah, cool. So this is how you change the login banner, right? That's the very basic way of dealing with the Ansible router, or rather, that's how you can deal with the Cisco router using Ansible, right? So we have a router inventory here, as discussed already, right? Now, I hope you remember while discussing it in the initial phase, we saw something called Ethernet, fast Ethernet 0/1 also, right? And it has some, so I guess I can show you that. If I do interfaces, I can see the fast Ethernet stuff, right? So it has been set up as a 192.168.4.1. So let's try to spend another 5 minutes. Let's try to spend another 5 minutes on this, whether we can change the IP address of this. Okay. Do I have a YAML file? Yes, I do have a interface YAML file here. So I guess I should change the username. Should be user4, right? Whether we are saying host all task, there's a task name, right? Now I'm using something called iOS underscore config, Ansible hyphen config, Ansible hyphen doc. Let's do iOS underscore config. So iOS underscore config is a module. Use a simple block indent file syntax for a segmenting configuration into section. So this module provides an implementation for work with iOS configuration sections in a deterministic way. So of course, we are trying to set up something in a line mode. So this is what it is doing. So I can again quickly jumping to my example section here. See, line, you can set a host name. See, this is what we did earlier. So I guess I should copy this also quickly. I'm simply copying the things. Let me do that. I have to connect my mouse, I believe. Anyway, I will do it later. Can I do it now? I have some issue with my, it's not copying. Anyway, so let's try to see if I can copy this. Yeah, it's copied. That's the Linux way of doing the thing, right? So I'm just putting iOS config and the lines. This time, I guess I should not use the inventory underscore host name here. Say my router one. Okay, this is one thing. Second thing, we are saying interface. Which interface you want to change? We are trying to change some IP address. I will give some random IP address here. My interface should not be shut down, should not be get down after even restarting the router. That's the reason I'm providing something called no shutdown here, right? And then again, as I said, we copied the hostname stuff. Let's try to run this. Yeah, sorry, this time I forgot to check the syntax. So of course we got a error. Yeah, that's the YAML thing. We are missing one indentation. That's what happens if you do copy paste scenarios, right? It is working. Let's see. It's changing the fast Ethernet IP address now. It's doing some configure top level configuration. So it does two changes. Wow. Let's see. Let's try to verify how we can. Have we done it rightly? And it was, I guess something is wrong here. Yeah, fast Ethernet. You got, can see that? You will whatever IP address we have given in our YAML playbook, it is getting reflected here. Very simple stuff, right? And no need to say, the router host name got changed. I believe it was router 3 or something previously. Yes, can I scroll down and verify that? It was my router 2. You can see here as well, right? I changed this host name so many times. That's the reason I'm also confirming what the router name was earlier. So it was my router 2, and now it is my router 1. So in this way, you can do a couple of things, or rather, you can do most of the things using the Ansible playbook, right? So I hope you like the way how we discuss at a very basic manner, right? And I hope I am clear with the discussion so far. That's all from my end, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video, and please keep attending our Ansible meetups as much as you can. Thank you so much, guys. Bye and take care.